Hello, and welcome to another in our series of Expert Insight podcasts. And today we're joined by Steve Law to talk about data centers. Steve is a co-author of our recently published Data Center Market Update. Welcome, Steve.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you here. In the report, I was struck by the strength of the demand and how this sector has evolved over the last few years into a period where we've got an overhang of demand. Can you talk a bit about that evolution?
Yeah, there's been growing demand over the past several years. As cloud computing gains popularity and we've connected more things to the internet, we've seen a huge uptick in demand. And now with AI gaining traction, we've seen an even larger increase for the need for more data center space.
Yes, and obviously, in response, some major players are beginning to expand their development pipelines. But that's not without its difficulties. Can you tell us something about the headwinds a developer faces?
Yeah, so as you're reading the report, we've seen significant increase in the development pipeline as supply tries to keep up with demand. But with developers, they're facing increased difficulties, and chief among them are uh, the struggle to gain enough electricity to power those data centers.
Yeah. So obviously, that extends the lead times for how supply meets demand. What about that in terms of timing and also in terms of the US regions that are most popular for this sector?
That's right. Yes, metros like Silicon Valley and Dallas and Chicago, they're starting to gain a little bit more favor with data center operators. But Northern Virginia continues to be, the most favored location, mainly due to the robust fiber infrastructure that they've already got in place there.
Yeah, well, no doubt our listeners will read about some of the major transactions that have occurred in this sector. We won't go into those now, but tell us how, from a transactional evidence, there's been downward pressure on data center cap rates.
Yeah, 2024 has been a tough year for CRE, as a whole, mainly due to the high cost of debt. But the strong demand that we've seen from data centers has really helped to keep cap rates in check.
Yeah, so in the mid to long term, this is going to continue, and it's going to remain a strong sector.
Yeah, outlook is strong. We think that demand is likely to outpace supply, for the near term. But there's always that risk that the technology is going to change faster than the market can handle.
Yeah, so there's no doubt it's an exciting center to watch. So I know in writing these reports, you're always having to navigate the blanket of security that surrounds
That's right.
data centers. But no doubt you'll do your best to provide updates to us on a regular basis.
Yeah, I look forward to more chats like this.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming in today, Steve.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.